Hello, my name is Lucas. This is a bit of lit, and this is the story of creation in the King James Version of the Holy Bible. First, I'm going to read the story, and then I'm going to discuss some things that I was thinking while I was reading through it. So, thank you for joining. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven." And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth." And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle, and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind." And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to every thing that creepeth upon the earth wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat." And it was so. And God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work, which God created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay, that took 5.5 minutes to read, but that's okay. I have a lot of thoughts about it. It's been a very long time since I've read it. Certainly a much longer time since I've thought about it. I don't know what I was doing 4 years ago, but it does seem like there is a formless, shapeless kind of chaos just there. It makes me think a lot of things. Where did God come from? And why did he pick this part of the formless, shapeless void? And, you know, it just makes me wonder these kind of questions right off the bat. And it does seem that, you know, he says, let there be light, and there was light. But there's light before the sun and the moon are made, and the stars. I guess this is a very metaphysical thing. I'm not sure what to make of that. But what's interesting about these things that God does on the first 6 days, and the seventh day as well, I suppose, where he rests, is that it's very orderly and structured, and we get a reaffirmation of that with man having dominion over the fish and the cattle and everything that creeps on land, and the fowl as well, right? There's an order and there's a structure, sort of hierarchy. I do believe, if I counted right while I was reading, that it says, and God said 10 times, which is a little bit interesting because much later God will give the 10 commandments for order and structure and law and that kind of thing. Yeah, so these kinds of things are very interesting in how it's deeply structured in that way. It has a hierarchical kind of thing, and everything's becoming very orderly, and God is giving humans these great, wonderful things. Something I just noticed is that when God gives dominion over the land for the humans, or for man, of the fowl and the fish and the cattle and all that, it seems that the herbs and the seeds are there for meat, meaning food, which makes me think, oh, dominion here in this case is sort of like being a shepherd, right? Tending to the flock, that kind of thing. It does seem to be like a vegetarian kind of thing. Certainly none of that happens in the modern world. How far we've strayed from God. Anyway, these firmaments seem to be the different layers. One is earth, one is the sky, basically, and one is heaven. What I also find really interesting about these parts of the story is that the first couple days are used to create sort of static things that don't really move. Like, I mean, the water, of course, does move in waves and tides and that kind of thing. And I guess there are earthquakes, but I mean, these are pretty static kind of things, slow moving in a sense, and heaven and the stars as well. Although I suppose stars orbit around other stars, but compared to the fish and the cattle and the fowl and man, you know, these have a lot of movement. They're alive. You know, they have life in that sense, and they're able to move more quickly and readily and that kind of thing. That's another interesting point. Don't know what to make of it really, but kind of interesting to me. What else do I think of this? I had other thoughts while I was reading, but maybe I should just read and give my thoughts as I'm reading it, so I don't forget what I was thinking. Chapter 2, when God has his day of rest, we sort of get a retelling. It seems like it's going back a little bit when it's talking about the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created. The plants and the herbs in the field didn't have any water to grow, and there was no person to till the ground, right? This is more of a very straightforward, less structured, feels very poetic the whole time, really. Very structured poem, I suppose, in the very beginning, but then chapter 2, we get right to it, and I think it's really beautiful. I really like the way it's told in chapter 2 from verse 4. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. It sort of has this feeling to me of like, I guess calm before the storm, basically. It seems very sort of peaceful. Everything is set in place. You're just waiting to press play, so to speak. And I have this image in my head of like everything being ready and God just, you know, he's resting and he's looking around. And then finally, you know, does what he does, makes the water come out of the ground to soak everything, and then creates man in his image and breathes life into him through his nostrils. And then away you go. So it begins. But I really like that idea that everything is just there and he's just waiting. He's looking over everything. Okay, let's give it a try. Yeah, I don't have too much else to say. It's a pretty interesting story, I suppose. Certainly a lot is going on, very structured, like I said, and it does seem we have strayed. We're supposed to have dominion and eat the green herbs and this kind of thing for our meat, and so are they. And then the way it's told, the image I have is just, like I said, everything is set in place, and then, okay, let's go. Next time we will read about Adam and Eve, I believe, and possibly, I don't know what the second story is. I'll put a link to the website that is helping me keep these separated so that I don't read too little or too much. But yeah, I think it'll be Adam and Eve. I might also include their fall. I'm not too sure. Maybe it'll be Adam and Eve for day 2, and then the fall, day 3. Well, I don't know where Cain and Abel fits in there. But anyway, thank you for watching if you did. It should be fun for me to go through this. I hope you enjoyed it. And I would like to hear what you think, what you have to say about the Bible and the story of creation, because I would love to know whether you are religious or not religious. That's okay with me. We're here to enjoy this story for all the joy and grief it has caused for people around the world.